All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Disney Co. in the Know podcast. I am Bruce, and I'll be your host. And tonight we are talking about Walt Disney World reopening plans. So tonight I am joined by our Disney Co. in the Know contributors, Lydia.
Hello.
And Elizabeth.
Hello.
So before we jump into all of the plans about Walt Disney World reopening, I want to say that this podcast, is brought to you by 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, Disney and Universal experts to help plan your family's perfect vacation. So all you have to do is show up, have fun, and create family memories. As always, our services are free to you. Visit us on the web at www.407vacations.com. Guys, I have done that so many times. You would have thought that I would not stumble at the beginning, but it's going to be one of those nights. I feel like we've been answering. We have clients asking us a bunch of questions, people asking us a lot of questions on social media about all of the new Walt Disney World reopening plans. So tonight, I just want to have a discussion about that and see what you guys think about it and kind of talk about the future. So if you are watching us on YouTube, I want to invite you to join us on iTunes at Disney Co. in the Know. And if you are an audio listener and you would like to watch us, please visit us on YouTube at Disney Co. in the Know. So with that, guys, let's talk about Walt Disney World's reopening announcement. So I'll just get us started with a little bit of backstory, and then we'll talk about some deets. So that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the thing, right? I read that. I read that on the internet, and I was like, I'm going to try that tonight. So,
that one's a little dated.
Oh no! All right, I'll figure out a new one. So, so on May 27th, just yesterday, Jim McAfee from the Walt Disney World Company, Vice President of Operations, Senior Vice President, I've already demoted him, proposed to the Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force, just like all the other parks in Orlando, their plans for reopening. And essentially, he laid out the very similar fashion, the health and safety precautionary measures that they will take at the parks. And he also announced the news that everybody was waiting for, which was the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom will reopen to guests on July 11th. And Epcot and Hollywood Studios will reopen to guests on July 15th. So a little bit of a staggered reopening plan.
Which I think is super smart on their part to do that. I was though interested because I feel like when I first heard that, Magic Kingdom to me and Animal Kingdom are like two of the more compact parks, if that makes sense. Like they're not as like spacious to me seeming as like Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So to me, I don't know if it stood out to you guys. I thought I assumed that they were going to stagger the park opening, but I did think that they would go like Magic Kingdom and maybe Epcot. But maybe those are their two more busier parks. I don't know. I would be interested to know why they picked those two together.
Yeah, actually, that's a question that I don't know the answer to, and I haven't seen the justification. Lydia, do you have it?
I was reading a New York Times article earlier today, and they were saying that, I mean, the article just said like Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom are opening July 11th because they're the most popular parks, which surprised me. I didn't realize Animal Kingdom was like number 2 over like Hollywood Studios and Epcot. That's what the New York Times said. I don't know if that's totally true, but they just said that they're the two most popular parks, so maybe that's why they're wanting to open them first, because they figure guests are anticipating them the most. So I don't know, which surprises me just because like Galaxy's Edge just opened and everything. But
I think from a guest capacity standpoint, I think Hollywood Studios has the least capacity. It's kind of a tight park.
You think now with Galaxy's Edge?
Oh, yeah. I don't think. I mean, even though that opened up that back end and kind of encircled that a little bit, I think that might actually have the least amount of space. So I wonder if that's what put it second. But but yeah, so maybe it's by the as Lydia says, the New York Times stated that it's by popular parks. So, but no matter what park you visit on the 11th or starting on the 15th, you will see common health and safety measures being implemented. And so, so let's just talk about a couple of those. Of course, guests are going to have and employees are going to have their temperatures taken. Guests will have their temperature taken at the park entrance. I don't think that's any big surprise. That's in Universal's plans. That's what they're doing at Disney Springs. So no surprise there. The kind of the big question that our clients had was, will we be required to wear a mask? And so starting in July, when the parks reopen, Disney is requiring that guests wear masks. So do you guys have any thoughts or feelings on that?
I mean, I was wearing we live in Ohio, and it was like 90 degrees here the other day, and I had my mask on. We were outside. We had to go to the grocery store, and I felt fine. I actually kind of forgot it was on my face. Granted, I have like a very breathable mask. Like Casey, he had like a much thicker mask on and was like dying. He also has a beard. But I think you just have to find the right mask, make sure it's covering your chin and your nose, and like it's comfortable around your ears. But I don't think I didn't feel uncomfortable or anything like that. So
yeah, I've worn my mask outside in the 90-degree weather, kind of just to test it to see what it feels like. And I really wasn't bothered by it either. I know that a lot of people will disagree with that. And a lot of people have health conditions that you might not, readily see as they're walking down the street. So it's hard to kind of gauge that. And I think there's a lot of like assumption of things happening with the mask, but it'll be interesting to see how well people comply to it once they're in the park, because I know that they have had some issues at Disney Springs, and so they've brought in stormtroopers from the parks to kind
smart.
of monitor the situation with the Disney Way and Disney Magic. So yeah, I don't know. That will be really interesting, I think, to see that. And then I was going to mention the temperature check thing. I think the temperature check is fine. I think it's going to be really interesting. I know we're going to talk about this later, like with the reservation and the temperature check and the whole family. Like it's going to be, I think, a really interesting combination of all of it. And I work in a hospital personally and have to get my temperature checked when I go into the hospital. And yesterday I sat outside and ate lunch, and I went in and my temperature was too high from just sitting outside, and I didn't have a mask on. So it'll be interesting to see what they'll do in that situation too. We know Florida is much warmer than Ohio year round. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. So
yeah, and I want to add to Elizabeth's point there that at least at Disney Springs, if one of your party members was over 100.4, the whole party could not enter Disney Springs. So it'll be interesting to see how it's going to work here at the parks. And also to Elizabeth's point, I do know that Disney is having cast members going to be physically present in the parks to help with physical distancing and mask wearing and everything else. So they're going to be our health and safety protocol, like cheerleaders, and going to help, corral people to follow all the guidelines, because yes, Disney is requiring guests to wear masks. They are private property, and the attending Disney parks towards the beginning may not be for everybody. So, but we will get to that in a little bit, actually. So,
and I think they'll do it tastefully. Yeah, I was just going to add to that. Like, I think how the cast members will, handle the social distancing and the making sure people are wearing masks. Like, I think they'll still handle it well. They're not going to be like, security guards that you see like a concert that scream at you if you do something wrong. So I think they're going to be very like kind and magical about it.
Yeah, Lydia, what concerts are you attending and getting in trouble with?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I've been to
that sounded like firsthand experience.
Yeah, no, I've been to like some indie rock concerts that are outside, and you get like those younger college, late high school kids, and they do the mosh pit stuff, and it gets out of hand, and then security has to come and they scream. Yeah. I do have some firsthand experience with that, I guess.
but only from a distance, right? You're an observer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, in addition to having temperatures taken and wearing face masks, guests will be encouraged and required to maintain safe physical distancing, trying to stand 6 feet apart. So in the parks there will be markers on the ground to help guests stand in a queue and maintain a safe social distance. So
yeah, and I think like with all the safety parameters, like Bruce said, the park might not be for certain people when it first opens. We should be happy that the parks are opening. We should be happy that Disney is taking our safety into consideration, but at the same time, knowing that they want to open as well. Like they want to open it and they want it to be a magical experience. But like, if you don't think that you can comply with the rules, don't ruin it for the rest of us.
Right.
Because we want to keep the parks open.
Yeah.
Right. So like, don't, like try to, you're on their property, wear the mask, maybe only go for a few hours and then, head somewhere else. But maybe this isn't the time to do like a full day's worth.
And we will,
of the Disney park.
And to that point, Elizabeth, we will get to park tickets and hours in just a second. So, so we have the masks, physical distancing, temperature checks. They will have an intense amount or a heightened amount of cleaning going on. So, clean down guardrails, benches, tables, providing hand sanitizer and hand washing stations throughout the park for guests. And then they will have limited contact. So this is with characters. They will not be showing nighttime shows, fireworks, parades, and things like that. Things that require kind of close quarters. So the parks will be operating at a lower capacity, not only in the level of guests, but also in the level of what's available to guests. So, and I think that all makes sense. So if you are going, don't expect, the park magical experiences to be at 100% from the get-go. So.
Yeah, I think this is just like a way to slowly open it. Most people across the country are slowly opening. They have different phases. And I would say this is just phase 1. They see how it goes and then, on to the next phase if people comply in this first phase. And they don't see, increase in COVID numbers either. So
that's true. And to help guests comply, part of the proposal by Jim McAfee was this education of the guests. So it will be on like the My Disney Experience app. There will be signs. All these measures will be on the website to try to educate the guests who are coming in July. So they're doing not everything that they can in the parks for health and safety measures, but also to try to preemptively, educate the guests that, hey, this is what's expected of you and here's what we're doing. So I think they're trying to hit a multi-tiered approach, which is helpful.
On a sidebar, I read also in that New York Times article that they might have what's called like relaxing stations where guests can take their mask off. So I'm like, I wonder how they're going to do that. Like, will you have to stand you'd have to stand 6 feet apart. I'm sure there's someone in there that like cleans it when you leave. But I'm like, I'm sure people are going to like also go into the bathroom and like take their mask off. And so I'm like, really wash your hands, guys, once you're done using the bathroom.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I saw that same thing, the relaxation stations that they'll be having. And it'll be interesting how they set it up. I know like some gyms have been like blocking off like squares so that you can still work out. So I don't know, maybe if they'll have something like that where you can just like stand in a square and there's no like sitting down or anything like that. Maybe it's just like standing taking off your mask, drinking some water, that sort of thing.
I could definitely see there being like circles in the in front of Cinderella Castle in that new artificial grass area where people could sit. And obviously people have their masks off when they eat, but tables will be 6 feet apart, and so forth. But so they are, speaking of food, what a segue there. An additional precautionary measure that they're taking is enhancing mobile ordering. So all you gotta do is order on your phone, and then you can go pick it up and take it with you, or take it.
Mobile ordering. Yeah, I think it's underrated. Yeah, it's very underrated.
We were there when we were there with you last time. There was like 15, 20 people standing in line waiting to get something, and you're like, I mobile ordered it and it's on its way in like 2 minutes. I'm like, why is everyone not doing this? This is so much smarter.
Yeah. I know. It's like the secret of Disney that I feel people don't know, and I don't want to like tell people, but I do at the same time. I do that at the same time because it is so nice, and it's like, you know, you can order it as you're walking through the park. You tell them when to pick it up, and then you just walk up to the attendant, pick up your food, and go sit down. So, very minimal contact to begin with. That process is. So I think it will be super helpful with this phase of Disney too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
and maybe more restaurants will jump onto it. Yeah.
Guys, it is literally the best thing when it comes to ordering food. All right,
literally. Get your vegan burger, and it's literally the best experience.
So mobile ordering will be available. And as I said a little bit earlier, parades and fireworks will not be occurring. Playgrounds or play areas where kids kind of congregate and play won't be open either. So
so that's probably like those like water fountain things that shoot like water.
Yeah, like
or like the dinosaur thing in the dinosaur park in the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I would say probably a good one to think about is Casey Jr.'s, back there in New Fantasyland.
Yeah.
That won't be open. So, so anyway.
I would be shocked to see a bunch of little kids there anyway, though. Like right now, like I just see a bunch of like, couples going.
Childless millennials.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are the people? Are the people like going to be flocking to the park right now? Like I don't see. I wouldn't take my 2-year-old right now. It'd just be a hassle. So
it would be. I know that's what was going to ask. How old? What's the age? Is it 3 years old to wear the mask?
So at Disney Springs, it's three and above. So
I could not imagine our niece wearing a mask in the
she
park.
Would not handle it. Like she would just take it off. So it's like,
Yes, it will definitely be interesting. One thing that Disney will have a little bit of an advantage on is seeing Universal and how they're implementing their mask policy. Because at Universal, they're opening up the month before. Theirs is coming up here in early June. And so
they open up on Friday. Next Friday.
Yeah. So exactly. So Universal will be open over a full month. So Disney will be able to see how their implementation plans are going, because they also require masks and social distancing and temperature checks. So kind of like how we've seen in theme parks all around the world, reopening, starting with the shopping centers like Disney Springs and Universal City Walk, and then translating that to the parks. So you guys have mentioned a couple of times about going July 11th and July 15th, and who's going to be able to go, and who it's right for. So let's talk about that. So kind of the big news that was more or less unexpected, because we all kind of expected the health and safety measures to be released, was the fact that Disney is implementing the park reservation system. So you're not going to be able just to wake up in the morning and say, which park do you want to go to? As if any of us go down there unplanned like that. But you're not going to just go wherever you feel like it. In fact, guests are going to have to reserve a spot at the park that they will be attending that day. So
Yeah.
you won't be hopping around park to park. You will be going to one park, and you have to not only have a valid theme park ticket, but you have to have a reservation as well. So we have kind of been front loaded with questions from clients about, wait, what do I do with this new park reservation system? We don't have the details yet. So that's kind of the short answer to that. It will be released.
It will be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No.
I was just going to say it's going to be on the Disney app, so everything will be there, which will be nice, and just everything in one place. But go ahead.
No. I appreciate you chiming in. Yes. So guests will be able to find that on My Disney Experience, and then guests there will not be an additional new park or new ticket sales. So those who have tickets for July 11th and beyond, see what I did there with the and beyond. Okay.
Nice. Yes.
So I wrote down all these jokes. So I'm just trying to make sure that you guys know when I tell a joke. So anyways, there won't be new ticket sales. So those guests who have tickets for July 11th and beyond, and will be the 15th. And the 15th will be the ones who will be able to reserve entry or have reservations into the parks. And so that
kind of confuses me, because I was reading it and I'm like, wait a minute. So, because I know like annual pass holders can they have more advantages, like they can just kind of show up. But like, I'm not an annual pass holder, so if I wanted to go to Disney on July 11th, like I wouldn't be allowed. Like I can't.
Right.
Okay. So like, when will those? So the people who are going to Disney on July 11th, who aren't annual pass holders, do they already have a trip scheduled?
That's okay. Absolutely correct. Yes. So, and we'll segue that into resort reservations here in a second. So just to reiterate, Lydia, that's 100% correct. If you had reservations for a resort stay, or you had your tickets on those dates from July 11th and forward, you can go to the parks. If you're an annual pass holder, you can go to the parks. But you have to reserve your day at which park. So nobody,
and that's going to be,
nobody now can say, oh, they're opening up in July, let me just go make a resort reservation and get a ticket. That no new ticket sales are being had right now. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, go ahead.
Do they know when new ticket sales will? Have you guys heard anything like that yet? I haven't.
The official word from Disney is that it will be at a later date. They said that they want to help service and get folks in who have existing reservations or passes first. And that will really help with capacity levels as well. So,
right. And I'm assuming like those guests can also be like, I don't want to show up. Because I'm sure there's some people who had a reservation, let's say in April, who are like, I'm not going to the park. And will they be able to like still have their vacation, but like move it to, let's say, like 2021?
Well,
like, can they do that?
Yeah, so to that point, we have had clients at 407 and Beyond Vacation Company who had reservations for this year, whether it be before July or sometime this summer or fall, who are booking their trip for 2021. So, yeah, because like we had said earlier, the reopening measures, although we're a fan of them, we want to protect guests. We're glad Disney is being so thorough with them. It's not for everybody, whether you have small kids or you're older. It just makes sense. And so we've had a lot of clients just say, this is not the year for me, or this summer is not the time for me. Let us book later in the year or in 2021. So
for some reason, I don't know why my brain was doing this, but I was like, they want everyone who has had a trip booked needs to get through first before they have new ticket sales.
No.
I don't know why I was thinking that's not true at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my question is, do we know when, like, do you have to wake up in the morning and reserve that day, or do you reserve, like, how does that work?
So good question. And the answer is we don't know yet. So we don't know how many days in advance you're going to have to reserve. Is it going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be, well, it can't be a month because we're kind of creeping up on that. But we just don't know yet. So,
yeah.
But Disney did say that they would release details on that. So
it'll be interesting. Disney had the Run Disney sign up about 2 weeks ago for the Disney Marathon, and it sold out extremely fast. It always sells out, but not this fast. It sold out every single race the day of opening. I saw some places it sold out within an hour because Disney really cut the numbers back, knowing that races will probably be one of the last things starting. So that's January of 2021. And so if they're cutting that capacity, I'm really interested to see how limited it will be going into the parks starting July 11th and the 15th. So.
I'm also,
and I was wondering too, no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm also excited for when they're like, and you can buy annual passes, because I'm like, I should buy an annual pass, because if this ever happens again, there's security, so that I know that I'm like, well, the second this park reopens, I can get back in.
So actually, yeah, another good segue. It's like this is all planned. Let's talk about annual passes real quick. So, and you can catch this on our blog at www.407vacations.com/in-the-know. Elizabeth released an article this morning, talked about annual passes. Elizabeth, I'm not going to steal your thunder. I'll say it real quick, though, that all the days that were lost due to the park closings will be added on to the expiration date of your pass. Is that right?
Yes. So that's March to July. So that's 4 months will be added on to your annual pass. So that's super exciting.
Yeah. And
so our annual pass.
Can you imagine if they didn't do that? Oh my! The annual pass community would just explode.
If you're on the annual pass Facebook groups already, they are exploding. So, we got ours. Bruce and I got ours in November, and so it would have ended in November. That's when it was activated, and so we're excited that it will go until April. So we'll have the beginning of 2021, which will be exciting.
Yeah. And that's really important because Elizabeth is the type of annual pass holder who will go to a local restaurant and go, "Hey, do you take an annual pass holder discount?" So
all the way in Ohio.
Hey, I saw you have some Disney merch over there. Do I get a discount on it?
Right.
It's like, no, this is Target.
Yeah, this is Target, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Anyways.
No, the other day, funny side story here. I was driving down the road and I have my annual pass sticker on the back of my car, and I love when I drive past.
And traffic just parted for you, and you just.
No, I love when I drive past an individual that has a Mickey sticker or something on the back of their car,
and then wave.
And then I do wave, and I'm like,
oh my God.
And I always point to the back, and you probably think I'm doing a wrong gesture or something.
Probably.
But
you're actually pointing to yourself. You're like, it's me. I'm the pass holder. It's me.
Suck it. You don't have one.
You just have a decal.
All right. We're only kidding. So let's talk about the resort hotel reservations. Just like park tickets, any new Disney is not taking new resort reservations at this time, and just like the tickets, they will let us know when bookings will resume.
So does that mean that if you are a pass holder out of state, you probably can't book then on property? So
no new bookings right now. So
okay.
But
I have a super question. I love swimming pools. Were there pools to be open at the resorts? I haven't seen anything like that.
So I do know that water features and attractions have typically been shut down in certain places. The only thing I can say about pools, at least at Disney, is that Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon have operating hours on the website. And I imagine if they're operating, that the pools will be operating. But I would say don't write that in stone, and let's take a wait and see approach. So
Maybe we'll find out that chlorine kills COVID.
It does.
Oh, there we go.
It does.
So, on Saturday, July 11th, Magic Kingdom and Epcot are open. No. Well, that has to be already because Epcot's not open. Oh, there is an error on the website. Not our website.
Oh no.
It does say Epcot Future World 11 to 9 on the 11th.
It does. I'm looking at it right now.
So anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think the water parks were open yet.
Well, that is interesting. That makes me think that maybe those shouldn't have hours as well. So, because
I think they would have taken that down.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. So the park hours have been reduced. So what we've noticed is that they have been changing the calendars and the park hours. So parks that typically opened at 8 are opening up at 9, or 9 now opening up at 10 or 11. And then they're also closing about an hour earlier. So it does look like extra magic hours are still on the calendar, but that the park hours have been limited in capacity.
I don't think that's going to be like a problem for anyone. I think at the end of the day, people are going to be like, okay, I need to get this mask off and it's hot.
Oh.
And I think they're going to like be done anyway. So I don't think people will be upset about those hour alterations.
Now parents have a valid excuse for not waking up early and getting into the parks. But kids, it's not open yet.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So the park hours have been shortened, but there are extra magic hours. If you check back on our blog site and visit us on social media, we'll be posting the Disney calendars and park hours continuously, looking for updates. So make sure to check us out on the blog and on social media. So let's actually.
Yeah, I was just like asking about the pools because I was thinking, I'm like, okay, what if I go to the park, right? They close at 9. I go back to my hotel because like I have that, let's say I had a book trip. Do I just sit there until like they open again in the morning? Like I just hope that there's like other things that open alongside all of this. So like guests aren't just like confined to their hotel rooms. So we'll see.
Or is that what they want?
Stay away. Shower.
Well, it would allow for some social distancing.
Yeah.
So,
we're all very familiar with.
Elizabeth, as the social media manager for 407 and Beyond, Vacation Company, and Disney Co. in the know, tell our listeners and viewers where they can follow us on social media.
Oh, put me right on the spot. You can follow us on Instagram at disney.co.in.know. And on Facebook with our group. Is it private? No, it's a public group.
Yep.
For Disney Co. in the Know. And then also on our Twitter feed, which would have the same handle, Disney Co. in the Know.
Yes.
We just got some new logo artwork for that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's like a light bulb. Is it Mickey? I don't know.
Lydia, where you are, it is continually getting darker. It looks like it's nighttime now. So
I know. It's like,
so funny.
I'm like, I don't think it's here. I think it's the computer like adjusting to the light. Yeah. And I'm like trying to move. That's why I'm like this. But it's like I think it's the computer.
Mine's doing the same thing. If I lean back, it gets bright or dark.
Yeah, it's like
it looks like we started this during the day, and then by the end, it's so dark. It's like, how long is that podcast? Oh my goodness! So
we edited a lot of it.
So I invite all of our viewers and listeners to follow us on Facebook at 407 and Beyond Vacation Company to stay up to date on all the latest news. Of course, that all goes out on Twitter and everything, but follow us on Facebook because then you can click direct links to the blog site and articles to stay in the know. So we invite everyone there. And again, you can find us on iTunes at Disney Co. in the Know. So please subscribe and give us a rating. And then follow us on YouTube if you like watching the raw footage of our podcast. So you can follow us on Disney Co. in the Know there as well. Make sure you subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. So that
cool
is
shirt.
Yeah, and you can see cool shirts.
And
Last week Lydia had one.
Cool shirt that we wear. And Bruce's stickers. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Magnets.
That's what's bringing everybody back watching is just seeing these stickers here. So,
hey, if you don't tell them what's behind you, then they'll come to the YouTube to check out.
Maybe I'll
come to the YouTube.
That was old.
I will.
The YouTube.
I'll rearrange something in my office every week, and then you guys tell me what it is. So,
find it.
It's good.
Oh yeah, so it's all about excitement here at Disney Con the Know. So, anyways, I do want to say
and
though,
jokes, planned jokes.
Yeah, planned unfunny jokes. Anyways, so let me give you the deets real quick on Disney Code in the Know. So we do provide up-to-date information on Disney, whether it be Disneyland or Alani or Cruise Line, as well as Universal. But we are not one of those websites that just puts out a lot of information overload. We try to sift through it and we try to publish what's important. And that's always in our Be in the Know news section at the top of the page. You can find links to our podcast lower down on the page. And then we have fun contributor articles from our contributors like Lydia and Jake and Hannah and Steven, who you might catch on our Wizarding World edition of the Disney Con the Know podcast. So if you want to know, the basics and you want to know details, but you don't want information overload or a bunch of ads, then our site is for you. So with that, Lydia, Elizabeth, do you have anything to add or that you want to talk about with the parks reopening and things starting to get back?
I'm just excited. I think it will be fun, and I think it's gonna be cool to see how it goes the first week. And are you guys going down? Are you guys gonna be there July 11th, July 15th?
We won't
probably
observe a resort reservation, but we're gonna try to go down and use our annual passes. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Lydia, Lydia, real quick, I do think that we should take 2 or 3 minutes to talk about the leaked aerial photo of the Nintendo Land over in Japan. So I know you're a big Nintendo fan.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Give me your thoughts on that.
So I zoomed in a little bit on it, and because it was there's a lot going on, but I could tell that it was definitely you could see Peach's castle up front. It had to be because it had the pink roof. So I was like, that's totally her castle. And then here I'm pulling it up right now, the photo. But I was like, it looks kind of small, but it probably isn't small at all. It's very it's kind of encased in itself, but I don't think that's going to feel like that once it's open. But they have the awesome Mario classic trees. I'm seeing some possibly some stuff from the Zelda universe, which is really cool. But they have the pyramids from all the desert levels and Super Mario Brothers. They have the pipes and everything. So I could looking at the photo, I couldn't tell the scale of it or how big it is, but it's very cool. It's very layered. It has kind of an Animal Crossing vibe to it. If you guys are familiar with that, which I am very familiar with.
500 hours familiar
yes,
with.
500 hours familiar with.
If there is such thing as an Animal Crossing master designation, Lydia has earned it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem, but it's fine. We're all quarantined. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I'm looking at it and I'm just curious what rides are in there and what's going on, because I haven't done a lot of research into it, but I'm oh my gosh, I hope it comes to the States soon, and I'm sure it's going to just be a huge hit, because it's just such a beloved community that I think is underrated by some people. But a lot of people like Disney love Nintendo, so I think it's very,
It does look very immersive, as if you've been dropped video gaming. Lydia, do you happen to have the Instagram account or the name of the gentleman who posted that photo?
Oh yeah, I can pull that up.
So is this going to be a full? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought it would take a second.
Attractions magazine, and it's just at attractions.
Right.
So,
and then I think they took it from, or they didn't take it, excuse me, but they reposted it.
Oh yeah. It's I'm clicking the link. It just says it's I clicked on the link and it takes me to attractionsmagazine.com.
Okay.
Which is photo updates. Super Nintendo World in Japan makes incredible progress. So this was published today, May 28th. So I'm sure if you Google that headline, it would probably pop right up. But there's some really cool photos. Oh, and yeah, they have like the star at like the entrance. And it looks like you go through some like Mario pipes and stuff, which is really cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and they have the blocks. Yeah, I'm scrolling through this again. Oh my god. Yeah.
So is it a full park?
It's like a section. Yeah, so it's like a land. Yeah.
Of what?
Of their, do they have a Universal over there?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Okay, so it's a section of theirs. I can definitely see that coming to the States. I mean,
yeah,
in the States, it's so popular. I do feel like they kind of test things in other cultures first, just to see how it goes over there. But I mean,
and it's
mind you, it's
popular.
Really popular.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, it totally makes sense that they put it in Japan first, just because that's Nintendo's home base.
Yeah,
so,
but
let me just interject real quick.
Oh my gosh, it's like right next to Harry Potter Land. I just realized that.
That's cute. That's
cool. It is called Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan, and the photo was taken by, and I apologize to this gentleman. I think it's I'm
seeing that.
So that is the gentleman who took the photo. But anyways, so yes, Super Nintendo World at Universal Japan. So I just wanted to add that in because I know Lydia would be quite excited about this new.
This is just my thought.
So. Another reason to go to Japan, because that's literally my dream vacation. So I cannot wait.
This is just my thought, but maybe the Universal in Florida. I mean, the Marvel section is kind of being dismembered here soon because it's heading over to Disney. So maybe they would bring the Mario Land in here eventually.
Well, mind you that Universal will have a third gate in Orlando. Well, for them, technically a fourth gate, since the water park is considered a theme
Volcano
park.
Bay,
So all right, let's save that for our Universal Wizarding World edition of our podcast. So Lydia, Elizabeth, thank you for joining me tonight on delving into the deets of the Walt Disney World reopening plans. So I do think that we might do a Facebook Live, let's say early next week. And so if any clients or listeners want to get on and ask questions and talk about these, that we can kind of do that as a community and have your questions answered. And so one last time, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, and stay in the know. So guys, until next time, stay healthy, and I look forward to the next episode next week. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of Disney news. All right, bye guys.
Bye.